Thunderstorms are better than sunny days. Thunderstorms are exciting. There is lightning and thunder. Storms are better because they exciting and don't happen all the time. Sunny days happen a lot more where I am and can get dull. I need a mix of weather. Watching the actual storm happening is cool to watch a force of nature, agreed. Thunderstorms give a sense of alert and adrenaline. I think it makes you more aware of your surroundings. It puts you on the spot. Wakes you up, and yes, they're exciting to watch. I enjoy searching for where the lightning will flash next. I also enjoy hearing the extremely loud thunder overhead. Sounds extraordinary. Sunny days are nice too. I like feeling the heat beating down on my head. But I think I prefer the dramatic event of black clouds and lightning flashing. Love it. I love dark, gloomy, bad weather a lot more in general. As someone in Tornado Alley, no. I agree with this. I'd love Seattle if all these rainstorms had some thunder. And if you're a runner like me, you can experience the insanity of running through one. Nothing beats booking it for miles shirtless while being whipped by rain and wind. It's somehow refreshing even though it should be gross. I love thunderstorms, they help me relax. Thunder and heavy rain is the most relaxing thing to fall asleep and wake up to. I agree sometimes, but try working around power lines during lightning. As said in your post, sunny days happen a lot more often for you. It's all relative. I live in the rainiest place in my country. So bring on a sunny day. I agree, though I would like to add the smell of the rain is amazing, and apparently there is a scientific reason why humans love that smell. It's because they're relatively rare for most of us. Know somebody who lives in Tampa and doesn't like them nearly as much. Thunderstorms are only better when you're planning on staying indoors. I also agree, just until the part they leave you with an power outage. I think it really depends. When I'm at home I prefer thunderstorms, but when I'm doing things away from home I like sunny days. Agree in moderation. If I had to choose 365 days of bright sunny weather or dim and cloudy thunderstorms, I'd choose sunny every time. Can't it be both? Hot, humid, sunny afternoons often lend themselves to mid to late afternoon thunderstorms. I like thunder when the sun breaks through the clouds. Rain and sunlight is so cool. I just don't like heat, so rainy days in general are better. Tell this to my German Shepherd who is deathly afraid of thunder. So you've clearly never actually been put in danger from a large supercell. You've clearly never worked outside for a living either. Storms give me terrible anxiety, so I'll have to disagree. I don't mind rain, but I do mind storms. Agreed. I live in Scotland's central belt and it's been many years since I have seen a thunderstorm. Yes to thunderstorms if I'm at home in bed curled up, not when I'm outside in it. I only agree with this because of coronavirus. Sunny days make it more tempting to go outside and make eye contact with females, which leads to shaking hands, hugs, and sex, which is a great immune booster, but also an open door for viral transmission. Thus, thunderstorms and Pornhub are better, I agree. Personally, I prefer a nice heavy rain shower as the sound calms me and it just feels great sitting inside in a nice and cozy blanket with a good book. But either way, sunny days are just boring, and I have the huge windows in my living room and it's so bright when I go downstairs in the morning. My stairs are right in front of the windows, it hurt to open my eyes. But when it's a nice cloudy or rainy day I can go downstairs peacefully, but that's pretty rare as I live in Texas, where it's almost always sunny and hot during spring and summertime. I'd agree if it wasn't for the accidents they cause. Op clearly doesn't garden. I live in Florida, so all I have is sunny or thunderstorms. Some of the prettiest weather I've seen are right before or after. I remember the skies turned completely purple after one a few years ago. Agreed. It's easier to be cold than hot. Can always put more clothes on, but you can't take off your skin. As someone with thalassophobia, no. Very unpopular, take my upvote. I used to think this. Now I have a dog who is terrified of thunder and I will flat murder, with words, any incoming storms. This very unpopular between dogs. I live in central/eastern Washington state in the Columbia Basin. a semi-arid desert with sagebrush, and it never rains. Seriously, we get an average of 8 a year. When those desert thunderstorms hit, okay, hand these hills sing. If thunderstorms were every day, I'd hate them. I appreciate their rarity. Thunderstorms at night are where it's at. As a cable guy, I must obligatorily say fuck you. In 7th grade, maybe 8th, I had athletics first period. I had to go in early every day, around 6 a.m., so we could run our mile and get all the warm-ups done before practice. Obviously, my mom still drove me to school at this point. We had only lived in Texas a year or so at this point, so coming from the Northeast, the weather seemed like it was straight out of a Hollywood doomsday movie. It was unbelievably windy out and you could see an actual wall of black and purple moving through the sky. By the time we drove in from our ranch on the outskirts of town, the sky directly above us was almost completely black and it looked like it was 6 p.m., instead of 6 a.m. I saw what was my first experience with a funnel dipping out into a tornado. It almost looked like someone squeezing wet fabric. The clouds were squirming so much and so fast. But, Texas hardly ever calls school off. So, all us girls had enough time to get almost dressed into our workout uniforms before the siren went off. I had one shoe on and my hair was in half a bun and they literally came in and pulled all of us out of the locker room. We had to sit with the entire school in the middle hallway with our arms wrapped around our knees. Never in my 12 or 13 years had I ever experienced something like that before. People were screaming. The lights were flickering. You could hear glass breaking somewhere far off. Half of the girls were only half dressed. Anyone who was late had to find somewhere protected on their own. Good thing that our coaches were total hard asses and every minute late was another mile. A few girls owed more miles than they could possibly run in the school year, but almost everyone made damn sure to get there on time. It went on for no longer than an hour, but felt like half of the day. I remember feeling almost frozen. I hadn't ever had to deal with extreme elements besides a particularly rough winter. Coming from inner city Philly to small town Texas and experiencing that felt unbelievably surreal. When all was said and done, they started to let us return to wherever we belonged until some sort of plan could be made. It was almost sunny immediately after the tornado burned itself off. Tree branches in windows and a few knocked over fences were pretty much the only damage. But, during the whole thing I could have sworn I was sitting inside the movie Twister. Ever since then, every big storm almost brought me a sense of comfort. I think experiencing how terrifying going through something like that looks and sounds and then realizing it usually isn't actually very extreme gave me a comfort response. I loved being wrapped up in my bed while it opened downpoured outside. Clichés are clichés for a reason, and wanting to curl up inside with a good book holds up for this one.